of Sodor lies a branch line that runs from Knapford station to Farquhar. This line belongs to Thomas the Tank Engine. He runs it with his two faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabelle. Other engines who work on the line are Percy. He helps with the goods trains. Toby takes workmen to and from the quarry, where Mavis shunts trucks of stone and sorts them into trains. Rosie helps out on the line too. She does extra work on the line that no other engine has time for. She doesn't mind the extra work because she knows she's doing her best to be really useful. Plus, she loves working alongside Thomas, even though she can copy him at times. Thomas knows that she's a very good friend. One day, the Fat Controller called the branch line engines to Knapford station. He had an announcement to make.
Listen carefully, please. I just want you all to know that we have a special visitor coming to Sodor.
The engines were excited. They listened carefully to what was coming next.
A tank engine called Gina is coming to Sodor to help for a while.
A new tank engine? Wow!
Who's Gina?
Thomas remembered the Great Railway Show.
Gina was one of the engines who was in the shunting challenge. She comes all the way from Italy.
Quite right, Thomas. She'll be helping out on your branch line. I would like all of you to show her around and make her feel at home.
Oh yes, sir. We will, sir.
You can rely on us, sir. When will she be here?
She'll be here soon, Rosie, and as soon as she arrives, I will send her to work with all of you. Please do your best to make sure Gina knows what to do.
Yes, sir.
The engines were excited about the news. They set off to start their jobs. But Rosie was the most excited of all. She thought another tank engine on the branch line was a fantastic idea.
I will do my best to make sure Gina feels right at home. She'll be a great friend to the branch line.
Then Rosie set off to take on coal and water. A little while later, the Fat Controller heard a whistle he didn't know. He turned to see a small green tank engine race into the station.
Ah, you must be Gina.
That's right, sir. Gina of Italy, here to help.
Wonderful! Welcome to Sodor. Now, Gina, I would like you to help out with the work on Thomas the Tank Engine's branch line. I hope you are willing to learn how to handle goods trains and passenger trains.
Oh, sir, that sounds wonderful. Where do I start?
I'm going to put you to work on the trains from the quarry. You will help Mavis take the trucks from there to the docks. Then you will double head Annie and Clarabelle with Thomas, so you can learn the line with him.
Yes, sir, I'll do that, sir.
Great, Gina! Now, Toby will be taking workmen to the quarry. You will follow him there, and you will find your trucks waiting there. Hello there! You must be Gina. I'm Toby.
Hello, Toby. I'm to follow you up to the quarry. I have some trucks waiting there.
Everyone's on board, Toby. We can go now.
Huh?
Oh, that's Henrietta. She's my faithful coach.
Oh, I've never met a talking coach before.
Toby set off with the workmen for the quarry, and Gina puffed after him. As they crossed the junction, Rosie puffed into the yards to collect her train. She saw Toby and Henrietta go around the bend. Then she saw Gina puff after them. Rosie was very excited to see her.
She's here! She's here! Hello, Gina! Hello!
But Gina didn't reply back. Rosie was puzzled.
But why didn't she reply back?
After a long trip, Toby and Gina arrived at the quarry on time. Gina was very amazed by what she was seeing all around her. There were walls of slate everywhere.
I've never seen so much slate before. It's quite... Wow! It's huge!
I guess this is all very much new to you, Gina.
I think you're right, Henrietta.
I haven't seen anything like this before. I'm more used to shunting yards and trucks in the stations.
Toby. Hello, Henrietta.
Hello, Mavis. I've brought the workmen to work, and I've brought the new engine that will be helping us on the branch line for a while. Gina, this is Mavis.
Hello, Mavis. Pleased to meet you.
Hello, Gina. I've been told by the foreman that you will be helping me with a train of slate trucks to the docks.
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, let me refuel, and I'll be ready to take our train. You'll be my back engine.
Gina was excited about this. She couldn't wait to get going with her first train on Sodor. Meanwhile, Rosie was puffing on Thomas's branch line with a goods train that had to be taken to Farquhar Station. She couldn't understand why Gina didn't reply to her at the station.
It can't be that hard to reply back to an engine's friendly greeting when they're saying hello. But then again, I may have better luck next time I see her.
That made Rosie feel better. Then she had to stop at a red signal. She knew this was Mavis's train coming through. Sure enough, Mavis came trundling through with her trucks.
Hello, Rosie. Come along, Gina. We've got a long trip to make.
Coming, Mavis. Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
It's Gina! Hello, Gina! I'm Rosie! Gina? Oh.
After the train had disappeared, the signal had changed to green, and Rosie puffed away. She started to feel quite sad.
I hope I can talk to Gina soon.
At the docks, Porter was there shunting trucks to cranking a crane so that he could load the flatbeds with some pipes that were needed for the wharf.
Here you go, Cranky.
Thanks, Porter. Oh, hang about. Look who's here.
Porter looked and saw that Mavis was coming with her trucks.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello. Who's your new friend?
My name is Gina. I'm from Italy.
Oh, you're one of the engines that came here accidentally not so long ago. Heh, fancy making that mistake.
Take no notice. He's only teasing.
I see.
Come on then, Gina. Back we go. You're going to be working with Thomas next.
Oh boy, passenger trains. I cannot wait to do that.
At Knapford Station, Thomas arrived to pick up Annie and Clarabelle from their shed. They couldn't wait to get to work carrying passengers.
Oh, look! Thomas is here.
Oh, goody! Now we can be really useful again.
Come along, you two. We've got another engine working with us today. Her name's Gina.
Gina? Who's she? I hope she's not going to be the back engine. I couldn't bear being pushed by another engine on a long trip.
Don't be silly, Clarabelle. She's going to be double-heading with me. I'm to show her the passenger route.
Ooh.
Thomas puffed into the station where his passengers were waiting. Rosie was at the platform too.
Hello, Rosie. Why are you here?
I know Gina will be working with you next. I want to say hello to her before I go.
But don't you have a train to collect from Tidmouth Station?
Oh, 5 minutes won't matter, Thomas. Besides, making Gina welcome is more important.
Come along now, Rosie. Your train is waiting for you. I don't allow idle engines on my railway. You'll get to see Gina when it's your turn. Now, on your way, please.
But, sir...
Now, Rosie.
Rosie puffed sadly away to Tidmouth Station. She thought it was unfair. Then she heard Gina's whistle from behind.
Hello, Gina. I'm Thomas. You're going to be working with me and my coaches, Annie and Clarabelle.
Hello, Thomas. I remember you very well. I'm ready when you, Anna, and Clarabella are.
Annie and Clarabelle.
Oops, sorry.
Thomas and Gina made their way along the branch line. They had picked up their passengers from Knapford and were making their way to Farquhar Station. Gina was very amazed by what she was seeing. The countryside was very beautiful and it had lots of green trees and fields. They had passed a field where some children were playing football. When they saw Thomas and Gina pass by, they ran to the fence and waved and cheered for them.
This is a great branch line, Thomas. I've never seen a line like this before.
This line is one of the most important lines on the whole railway.
Quite right, Thomas. The Fat Controller gave you this line to run after how you come to James's rescue.
Wow, you must tell me that tale later, Thomas. I'd love to hear it.
Then Bertie raced up alongside. He was excited to see Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. Do you fancy a race?
Sorry Bertie, I can't race today. I have to show Gina my branch line.
A race? Oh, that sounds like fun. Come on, Thomas. Surely we can have one race.
No, Thomas, we haven't the time. The passengers won't like that.
Oh, please, Thomas. Please, pretty please.
Oh, alright then, let's go.
Ha 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 ha! See you there!
We'll see about that.
Thomas and Gina raced ahead and passed Bertie in a cloud of steam. Bertie was very surprised. He tried to go faster, but the two engines disappeared out of sight before he could even say toot toot. Thomas and Gina raced into the station, feeling a bit puffed, but very pleased that they had won.
Wow, that was fun, but a bit too easy.
I cannot wait to see the look on Bertie's face when he gets here.
Oh, look, Thomas. Here he comes now.
That's not fair! You took an advantage over me!
Never mind Bertie, maybe another time.
Who knows? He might just be racing me instead.
Come on Gina, we must go.
Thomas and Gina made their way back up the branch line. They stopped at every station to pick up more passengers, and Gina got to look at the wonderful sights again. She thought Thomas's branch line was wonderful. It was very different to the line she had worked on back in Italy. Soon, two engines returned to Knapford Station, where the Fat Controller was waiting for them with Percy.
Ah, Gina! I hope you've had a fun time on Thomas's branch line.
Oh yes, sir, I have, sir. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Gina.
Now, Gina, I would like you to work with Percy on his next job. He is to take coal to the steelworks, so you will need to take extra coal with you.
Yes, sir.
Come on then Gina, our coal trucks are waiting.
Then, Rosie puffed into the station and saw Gina puffing away.
Now's my chance.
Rosie, what are you doing?
Gina! Gina! Gina? Oh.
For the rest of the day, Rosie was feeling very sad. No matter how many times she tried to say hello to Gina, she didn't get a reply. She was starting to wonder why she hadn't answered her.
I cannot understand why I'm the only one who hasn't seen or spoken to Gina yet. Maybe I'm not as good as the other engines.
Rosie didn't see or hear from Gina for the rest of the day. She didn't even try to find her, let alone ask the other engines if they had seen her. That night, Rosie puffed to the branch line sheds. She knew the other engines would be there too. But then she stopped before the points and got a shock. There, Gina was in the sheds between Thomas and Toby. Percy and Mavis were there too. They were all very impressed with Gina's work today.
You really are a great little engine, Gina. You were wonderful today.
Toby's right. You handled those coal trucks very well. True, they were troublesome, but I'm amazed with how you managed to keep them in order.
No truck is ever going to get the better of me. I was trained by the best engines in Italy, but I did enjoy the trip on Thomas's branch line with his 2 coaches. Even the race with Bertie was exciting.
She was excellent with the slide trucks as well. You surprised me too, Gina. How you managed to keep those trucks in order, I'll never know.
Well, a race is always exciting, but Bertie will have to be very careful. He'll never know what will happen next.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be pulling your coaches, and then race past him pretending to be you. That will really surprise him.
Oh, you're funny, Gina.
And a very good friend.
All the engines were so busy laughing and chuckling, they didn't see Rosie looking so upset. Rosie couldn't bear to hear any more of this.
I'm not special enough to be Gina's friend. I'm not as exciting as Thomas or the other engines. Maybe me trying to be Gina's friend was a bad idea after all.
So Rosie went to find another shed to sleep in. She was feeling ever so miserable. The next morning, Rosie woke up in the shed at Knapford Yards. Her driver and fireman lit up a fire, and she was already in steam.
Better take on coal and water. Who knows what I'll be up to today?
No sooner had Rosie gone, Gina raced into the yards and stopped inside the shed where Rosie had slept that night. The Fat Controller was coming to see her.
Ah, there you are, Gina. Right on time.
Good morning, sir, and thank you.
Today, Gina, I would like you to work with Rosie in the yards outside Knapford Station. You will need to shunt trucks and coaches for the engines that will be going out on the main and branch lines. Can you handle that?
Oh yes, sir. I can handle that. No problem at all.
Very good. I'm sure Rosie will be pleased to see you. I wonder where she could be.
Gina and the Fat Controller looked around the yards, but there was no sign of Rosie. Rosie was taking on coal outside the yards. She was still feeling sad about yesterday and thought she was never going to be Gina's friend. After her bunker was full, she made her way back to the yards, with her eyes looking at the tracks in disgrace. Rosie then puffed towards the water tower to fill her tanks with water. She didn't notice Gina in the sheds ahead.
That must be Rosie. She must be straight ahead.
Gina was so excited, she raced out the shed and went to Rosie. And there she was, taking on water.
Hello, you must be a Rosie. I am a Gina.
Hello, Gina.
Mamma mia! Whatever's the matter, Rosie? You look ever so sad.
Oh, Gina. I really wanted to meet you yesterday, but I didn't get a proper chance to come and say hello to you. Every time I saw you, I whistled and called out hello to you, but you didn't answer. I even tried to meet you at Knapford Station, but the Fat Controller sent me back to work. And then I saw you at the sheds last night with the other engines. You were all having a laugh and talking about the exciting day you had together. I was feeling very left out, because I thought I wasn't special enough to be your friend. Because I'm not exciting or as interesting as Thomas or Percy or even Mavis at the quarry. I really wanted to be your friend.
Gina couldn't believe what she had heard. She could see Rosie was very upset.
Oh, Rosie, I'm ever so sorry. I didn't hear you whistling or calling out to me because I was so excited about my new jobs. I was so eager to see the new lines I was going to be working on. I had no idea you wanted to meet me. You should have come to the sheds. I would really have wanted to see you.
But I didn't get to see you or work with you yesterday. How could I when I never got a chance to?
But Rosie, the Fat Controller asked me to work with you today.
He did?
Yes, he says we're to work together in the yards outside Knapford Station and sort out all the trucks and coaches for the engines that'll be working today.
Rosie was very surprised to hear this. Her frown turned into a cheerful grin. At last, she was now going to be able to work with Gina, just like she had wanted to.
Oh, thank you, Gina. Now I'll show you how much of a really useful engine I really am.
I'm sure you'll get to show me here in the yards today. Come on, let's get started.
When Rosie's tank was full, the two engines set off to Knapford station. Rosie was very happy. Now she was going to be working with Gina.
Now I'll show Gina just how useful I really am.
They both arrived at the yards and were surprised by what they saw. The yards were filled with trucks, vans, wagons and flatbeds.
You ready to shunt, Gina?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's show these trucks what we are made of.
The two engines were soon at work. They sorted out all the trucks and arranged them into different trains. They were heavy and there were lots to shunt, but they didn't mind. They were pleased that they could be busy. Rosie was working very hard and she was doing her best to keep the trucks under control. Gina was watching Rosie. She was very impressed with her shunting. Gina was sorting out some coal trucks when...
Where are my coaches? I mustn't be kept waiting!
Huh?
Come on, Gina. I'll show you how to handle the express coaches.
Rosie and Gina were coupled up to the back of the coaches, and they pulled them into the platform. They shunted them behind Gordon.
Oh!
The passengers climbed on board, and Gordon waited patiently for the guard's whistle. But then, Rosie had a cheeky idea. She whispered it to Gina, who agreed.
We'll do it on the whistle.
Now!
What's going on?
Rosie and Gina gave Gordon a big push. Gordon felt the train rocket out of the station.
What was that?
There you go, Gordon. That sped you up a bit.
Oh, that was a good one, Rosie.
When you're quite finished, can you get back to work, please?
Oh, yes, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Rosie and Gina were enjoying their job of shunting the trucks. They were amazed with each other's work. As the day went on, they were getting all the trucks sorted. Rosie shunted some wagons for Ryan to take away. Gina was shunting the flatbeds for Molly to take away. They had even shunted some empty trucks for Whiff to take away to the waste dump. They had also shunted other trains for the bigger engines into the stations. The other engines were impressed with Rosie and Gina's efforts. That evening, Rosie and Gina pulled into the station for a rest. The Fat Controller was there to see.
Well done, Rosie and Gina. I'm very pleased with the pair of you. Although I wasn't too pleased with what you both did to Gordon today, I think you two have proved yourselves to be really useful engines.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, go to the sheds and get a good night's sleep.
Yes, sir.
That night at the sheds, Rosie and Gina were telling the other engines about their day in the yards. The engines were intrigued.
You've both played a trick on Gordon. Wow, that must have been funny. You must have got him in a spin.
We certainly did, Percy.
You could say we gave him a push in the right direction.
Well, from what I've heard, you two worked very well today. You make a great pair.
You should be proud of yourselves.
We are. It was a great fun. You were right, Thomas. Your branch line is a very important line.
It is a very special line, but it's more special because we all work hard to keep it running smoothly and on time.
All the engines agreed, but Rosie was the happiest engine of all.
Thank you for working with me today, Gina. You are an excellent shunter.
Thank you too, Rosie. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you when you tried to talk to me yesterday.
That's alright. I'm sorry I didn't try harder to come and see you.
Well, now you two have met and worked together. You must be very proud, Rosie.
I do. Gina is indeed a really useful engine.
The engines all whistled in delight for Gina. Gina felt very glad to be part of the team, and Rosie was very happy to have made